here rolling out Business Exchange. Your host Malik Brown here with a friend of the brand, Detavio Samuels, CEO of Revolt. What's going on, Detavio? How you
What's
doing?
good, King? It's always good to see you, man. This, I think, is the first time you've interviewed me in the studio,
Oh
so
yeah,
this will be our
yeah.
first time doing that. So glad to have you in the building.
For sure, man. But appreciate you for letting us stop by and everything. I know you got some big things coming up or already going on right now. Of course, the first thing is the Blackprint. I mean, first off, what kind of inspired you to create that show?
Yeah, the crazy thing about the Blackprint is I never wanted to be on camera talent. I never wanted my own television show. In fact, if you want the true story, the only reason I created the Blackprint is because of Munson, the creator and founder of Rolling Out. Munson and I did dinner one day, and as we're leaving that dinner, he asked me, "Why is it that you run a TV network and you don't have your own television show?" I told him, like, there's no way I want my own television show. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be known. You know, my dream was always like to be the mob boss in the back. I always just say, like, when you come into the restaurant, the mob boss isn't in the front with everybody. He's in the back with the pizza. Nobody even knows who he is, right? That's who I always wanted to be. And Munson very quickly checked me and told me that I didn't have a choice, that it was a responsibility to have my own show. He told me it was my responsibility for a couple of reasons. One, he just believed that I had maybe wisdom and insights that were worthy of passing on to future generations. But two, what really got me is just the representation thing. He just told me there's a ton of young black and brown people who need to know that they can do what you're doing, that you can be a 43-year-old CEO, that you can make it at this level. And so you owe it to them to show them who you are and that you exist. And so anyways, Munson is the whole reason why I have a television show now. So thank you, King. Not only because you always show up rolling out, again, clearly family, but we would have never had the Blackprint if there was no conversation with Munson.
Let us know about the season and you know how excited you are to film and everything like that, and who should we be expecting on the episodes?
Yeah, the Blackprint season 3 is back. While I've never wanted to be on camera talent, I'm really excited for this season. One of the key shifts is Revolt is super focused on young millennials and Gen Zs. We're just talking to a lot more guests that kind of come from that background. And so it's super dope and super exciting to see 20-year-olds, young 30-year-olds who are leaving their mark on the world. This season, you got everybody from Da Vinci. That interview's out and definitely doing numbers. Such an impressive black brother. Da Vinci, we got DDG. We have Eric Bellinger. Eric Bellinger and I had an incredible conversation rooted in faith and so many things. Danye Taylor, sir. So anyways, just super excited about this year's guest. And already, you know, season seems like it's going up. So we're going to see how far we can take it.
That's dope, man. And it's kind of like you kind of answered my next question about why is it important to tell black stories. So I mean, to still ask that question, why is it important for, I guess, you like a CEO to tell those stories? Because
Yeah.
you talked about, like, you know, you want to be the guy in the back. Now you Munson's like, now you got to, you know, be in the front. Why is it important for a CEO to tell stories?
Yeah, I think what's really changed over the last few years, like, you know, I probably started marketing back in 2006, early 2000s, right? One of the big fundamental changes that I think have happened over the last couple of decades is that our audiences, our consumers, the people we serve, no longer want us just to make a good product and good profit. They want us to make good product, good profit, and make the world better. And everybody thinks making the world better is different, so they specifically want you to make the world better in the way that they want to see the world kind of manifest and come to life. And so for me, because of that, what shifted, there's one other thing that shifted. Edelman does a survey every year about kind of like trust around the world. And within the last 5 years, one of the constant points is that people trust CEOs to fix the world more than they trust media, more than they trust government, more than they trust anybody. So you put those two ideas together. So now you take those two ideas. People want CEOs to make the world better, and they are the ones that people trust to do that work. And so now I believe that what's changed is CEOs have to operate almost more like politicians. You have to have an agenda that you believe in, that you are pushing through your business, that aligns with the audience that you're trying to reach on the other side. And so that's why I think every CEO, like, you got to play the role of like you're running for president.
Yeah.
And so every time you see me, you'll see me announcing our agenda, telling the people what type of world Revolt is trying to create, because I just think that's what's required in this day and age from a business standpoint and from a CEO standpoint.
For sure, for sure. You know, as a CEO, what motivates you, I guess, to continue to just learn and like be curious about different things and like get involved in different things? Like, what motivates you to continue to do those things?
Because, brother, if you're not learning, you're dying. If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not moving forward, you're going backwards. You're flat, like you're dying. And the world is changing so much. And so how can you lead? How can you profess to be a leader? How can you, I always say leadership is based on followership. You have to earn followership. How can you earn followership if you are not learning every day, developing a point of view on where the world is going, and working really quickly to move your company or the people around you in that direction? I think it's beholden on every CEO. I think it's beholden on every leader to make sure that they're doing everything possible to make sure that they're growing and learning, because they have communities of people, of employees, of stakeholders who are depending on them doing that exact job.
Yeah. Well, why do you think education is important in what you do as a CEO? Why is that important?
I see education as one of the fastest ways for us to get to kind of equity and justice in this world. I think that a lot of the reasons why Black people have been able to be held down is because they have kept our history from us. They have sent us to the poorest schools. We've gotten the worst educations. And when you don't have a great education, you can significantly limit the opportunities that you have ahead of you. Both of my parents were teachers. I did my master's in business, but at the same time, I did a master's in education, because just as a theory of change, I think education is critical in terms of helping people. And the Black community, education doesn't just help you get a step up, it helps you get out of whatever potential negative situations so many of us come from. And so that's why I'm such a big believer in education.
Why do you think HBCUs are so valuable today?
So let me give you my disclaimer. I did not get to go to an HBCU. I ended up going to Duke University. But I love HBCUs. I love HBCUs for so many other reasons that I think people know, meaning you're going to have some of the top rated schools that are HBCUs, so you're going to get high quality education. I think people know that the experience at HBCUs is like none other, whether you're talking about Greek band life or fraternity sorority life, those types of things. I think the network is incredible. You think about all the amazing people who have come out of HBCUs. And so I think they're great for all of those reasons. But for me in this moment in time, what I think is so important is that HBCUs are the place where Black people don't get to be othered. It's like a lot of us will go to schools where we're the only one or the other. A lot of us will be in jobs where we're the other or the only one. And in HBCUs, you get to be in a system of people who all look like you. And I think that is such a special, unique opportunity for many of us to be around by people who look like us, but are similarly minded, similarly valued, and trying to get the same things out of life. And then I think also it's just this notion that as I'm watching them try to remove our history from the school systems, when I look at how people try to convince Black people that we have to change or wear a mask or be something different, and HBCUs being that place where you don't have to change, where you really get to lean into who you are and who you want to become, and where they can't erase our history and tell us something that's just simply not true. And so I think HBCUs have always been special, but I think they're really special in this moment in time.
If you were given a graduation speech at a Duke, at a Morehouse, Spelman, Howard, what would that speech be titled, and what would you tell to those graduates?
Yeah, for me it sounds something like, what I would want those folks to know is that your success is determined by magnifying who you are, not diminishing who you are. So much of this world and society, especially for Black folks, tries to get us to shrink, to contort, tries to convince us that we have to wear a mask and be something that we're not. And it is impossible to maximize your potential without leaning into your original design, without leaning into who you are as a person. And so, what I would want them to know is that if you want to win at this game of life, you have to find a way to figure out who the heck you are and how to maximize that thing, as opposed to being who other people want you to be or being what you see somebody else being. It really is an internal journey to uncover what puzzles fit you best, to uncover where your personal magic is, so that you can unleash that magic in the world.
Definitely. Last question. You know, you talk about people wanting to be themselves and like being able to maximize their potential. How do you think you're able to do that here at Revolt and with everybody here?
Brother, I'm so blessed, man. So, this goes back to the question you just asked. Like, I have spent my entire life trying to figure out who Detavio is, where my gifts lie. The Japanese have this saying, it's called ikigai, and it's basically the path to finding purpose. And they say your purpose lives at the intersection of your talents, where you naturally gifted, your passions, the things that you love, the social problems that you want to solve, and you find a way to make money doing all of that. And and so I'm blessed that here at Revolt, I live at the intersection of all of those things. I wake up every day being able to do the things that I think I'm uniquely talented in, and living and operating in my gifts. I'm passionate about Black culture, the Black community, hip hop, the future of content, the future of media, where everything is going. Without question, there are massive social problems that exist in the Black community that we here at Revolt try to play a role in alleviating, improving every single day, whether you're talking about the lack of information and education in the Black community, financial empowerment, wealth building, all of those things. And then I get to make money doing it, right? So I live at the intersection of all the things that make me alive. I think it's Richard Branson says there's no such thing as an alarm clock. It's an opportunity clock. I think for those people who are not living in their passions, when they're not living in their ikigai, I think when your alarm goes off, you hear an alarm clock. For me, every day, because I'm living at the center of everything that I love, when it goes off, I hear an opportunity clock. And it's like, what opportunities do I have today to go move and change the world?